Jingle bells, Ryan smells, Nathaniel laid an egg, Clint Mobile lost a wheel, and Iron Man 3 isn't a Christmas movie. This is the way of the dork.
Welcome, everybody, to episode 74 of the Four Dorksmen podcast. I'm Nate, aka Angry Nate.
And I'm disappointed.
This is Collector Clint.
And this is Asian Tony Stark.
And thank you all for joining us this week for another wonderful episode of our podcast. Quick shout outs and quick letting you know where you can follow us on social and stuff. Make sure you follow us on Twitter and Instagram at _Dorksman. If you want to play bingo, we have a wonderful bingo card at dorksmanbingo.com, care of our good friend Andrew, who is at the Toy Rewind. So many podcasts. Toy Rewind podcast that he does with his brothers. So make sure you're following them. Joey's already fed up with my terrible mistakes in the intro that he's left. And shout out to Larry. Thank you, Larry, for building us the dorksmanbingo.com redirect, which is nice and easy for us to access said bingo card. And you can follow him at the STS guys and also the Totally Rad Movie Pod. You can always email us at dorksman@gmail.com. The robot email is working well, I think. I don't think we've got an email in a while. Feel free to email us. We do read your emails if we ever got them, but it doesn't seem like you guys like to email us for whatever reason. But
Email's
cool.
old. Now we're
in all fairness, Vin did email us many months ago.
He did.
I don't know if we ever addressed his question.
And John
clear.
Newland has too, and Steph has. We have emails. It's just,
Ed's emailed us a couple of times. I think Ed and Jess have both emailed, even just to say hi. So, we have gotten some emails. Hi. Hey, Joey's back.
Did I leave? Did I go somewhere?
well, you were fed up with Nate. I'm glad you cooled off quickly and came back.
Took off.
Isn't everybody fed up with Nate?
That sounds like a TV
Can
show.
you imagine if you're fed up with me now, where you haven't seen me in like a year and a half? Wait till we can see each other multiple times a year. It'd be really.
Yeah, we were just talking about this on the podcast where I'm like, it doesn't feel like it's been that long, but the reality is, I saw Nate 9 months ago in Vancouver. It was 9 months ago that we were on our honeymoon, my wife and I.
You and Nate were on your honeymoon now?
Yeah,
Yep, that too. That too.
Congrats.
I was about to
3
say,
more
I'm
months.
expecting. I'm expecting. Yeah, it's been 9 months.
I don't want to
I'm
know
expecting.
what you're expecting, though.
Well, at least we know who the small spoon is here.
Well, yes.
It's more of
Moving
like
on.
it's more of like a spoon and a ladle.
I'm gonna write that down. That's actually pretty funny.
Spoon and
It's
a
been a
ladle.
while since we had a
Spoon
fat
and a
joke,
ladle.
so thank you.
That's not a fat joke. That was because you're taller. He was going for a fat joke. He called you like 3 wooden spoons or something.
Oh no, it was definitely a fat joke. Let me just
All right.
clarify for all the listeners at home. I was definitely
Hey,
calling
you said it,
Nate
not me.
fat.
Oh, there you go.
There we go. Anyways, if you don't know what a ladle is, just Google it.
Oh, there you go.
Somebody's gonna punch out their card tonight, boy. I tell you
there
what.
it is.
How's the hemorrhoids feel?
Nate,
As you can tell,
Nate,
we're
are
5
you
days
gonna-
from Christmas.
Are you going to
And
note
we're-
the bell?
I'm not. I love the
Aw.
bell. I fully love the bell.
I
You are
love
the way-
Bell.
By the way, we all are wearing headgear or
All
headwear, right?
headgear swoop box. There you go.
So, all right, let's move it
Yeah,
on.
let's do some real discussion here. Our first question from our Ask the Dorksman stockpile. We always appreciate you guys dropping the questions. Clint likes to build a huge list, which we have to scroll through multiple pages. But today we've got.
Oh, boo-hoo. This is a good thing. It's a good problem to have.
It's a good problem to have. So more questions. Our first question this week comes from Alex, DeLorean Wolfgang on Twitter. Alex, who is part of the Secondary Heroes podcast, multi-time past guest on our show. We always love having Alex on. We always love interacting with Alex. His question is, have you ever had a package stolen from your front door? Very topical with Christmas time, people ordering stuff from Amazon and whatnot. Alex already answered the question. He says no, but he had his identity stolen, which was just as recently as like 2 weeks ago, where someone stole his identity and went and bought a very expensive car So
It
Whoever
blows
you
my
are
mind that
there-
somebody was able to do that. That's crazy.
right?
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
Like purchase a car. I've heard about people getting your identity stolen. Like I've had my credit card compromised before.
Mhm.
But to actually have somebody go as far as purchasing a car under your name, that's some crazy shit.
Yeah.
That's a ballsy move, right? Because it's like you're gonna need like
And there's
lot of
cameras in
identification.
there. You
Yeah.
know?
you need
Like,
a lot of
how
identification.
fucking
for
stupid
this.
are you?
It had to be online. I'm curious to know, but I would
Oh,
think it was
Oh
online.
yeah, that's true.
right.
Well,
It's a
anyway,
lot of places. Yeah. Anyways,
Touche. Good point. I will shut up now.
all right, Joey, have you ever had any packages stolen from your front door?
No.
That's your
Okay.
answer. No.
I mean, what else do you want me to expand on?
I mean, was there an almost? What do you want to say?
Have you tried to steal someone's package from their front door?
No. It's a great question. Good job picking this one out. It's
Yeah.
leading to great discussions.
You know what? I never have. I'll be honest. I've actually thought about doing it just to see if I could do it. I mean, I'd give it back. It wouldn't even like I don't
Give it back.
because
That
that's
doesn't
you're
make
in
it
the
any
back of a
better,
police
Clint. You're
car.
still
no,
a
but
thief
that,
if
but
you
that's
take
that's
it.
kind of the thing about the whole porch pirate thing. They're like they're taking a risk even doing it, but then they're they're stealing it, and then they're gonna get stuck with what, like there's a chance there could be something really nice in there, but there's much more likely chance, especially with the pandemic going on, that if they're stealing something with an Amazon box, they're stealing, Kleenex, they're stealing granola bars.
Hand sanitizer.
Yeah, I
Hey,
mean they're not
Granola bars would be very welcome in my household. Let me just state that right now.
worth going to jail for if you get caught.
I wouldn't take it. I'm just saying, like, I would be thoroughly upset if somebody stole my granola bars.
Gotcha, but I'm just
Yeah.
saying, like, yeah, like they risk it, and there's all these cameras, and I just don't get it, and it's not even like you can justify it in any way. You can't be all, oh, I stole it because I need bread to feed my family. You can't do that. You can't say that. In fact, it's funny. It happens around our neighborhood all the time.
Really?
Yes. Luckily, we have not been hit. But what ends up happening a lot of time is something gets stolen, but then you'll find it down the street later on because they'll open the package, not want it, and just throw it out the window.
That's terrible.
Mm.
That's awful.
Yeah, I agree. I've never understood why it's worth, getting caught with the cameras to steal yourself, a 3-pack of lotion or something. I don't know. That's the point.
Well, I'm old enough to remember when they, just about everybody, no matter what it was, required a signature. And
Mhm.
now I think we're just so overwhelmed with shipments and packages, not just because of COVID and not just because of the Christmas season and the combination of those two, but even prior to the quarantine, they had stopped requiring signatures on most items. Like most sellers or whatever would have to specially request that. And I can't remember having a package recently to where it required a signature. And I think that's probably led to a spike in it, I would think, because people are like, oh, this person's just going to be able to, get their item back. But, it's a big pain in the butt. You got to file a police report and most of the time and all kind of stuff. So,
Well, yeah, is it even worth doing all that too? Depending on what they stole.
depending on what they stole too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, if I had, ordered a pop from the Funko shop, I'd just be like, oh, well, I just got, screwed out of
$20.
$22 or whatever it is with
Right.
shipping and tax. But, if it's like a pair of shoes or, a TV or some other high-end electronic thing, then yeah, I'm going to file a police report and
Yeah.
hopefully get a credit back for, whoever it was that I bought it from.
Right. Anyway, I have not, but I've constantly thought about putting out a fake box with something disgusting in it, and I haven't done
Just
that
to
yet.
see.
Oh,
Oh, do you remember that video that circulated? Oh, it's been months now with the guy that was setting booby traps
Yeah.
for people. And then there was a rumor that he had faked those videos and had hired people to
To steal them.
steal them, and get the glitter bomb in the face or whatever it was. But nonetheless, it was still extremely hilarious watching the glitter
Yes.
bomb go off in people's
Well, I
faces.
do know people around here have boxes full of shit they give them, like their dog's poop. Leave them on the porch and hope they get stolen. But
Incredible.
yeah. Anyway, that's the
uncalled
answer to my
for.
question. That's a long-winded answer to that simple no.
How about you,
So
Ryan?
I have a more interesting answer here. Not from the porch, but yes, I have had something stolen from the mailbox. Not like
Hmm.
recently. When I was a kid, I must have been maybe like say 8 or 9. I'm only guesstimating around that age because it was Mega Man 2 that got stolen from me. So I don't remember where my parents ordered it from. And let me also state, I love Mega Man 2. I ended up getting it after. But the original copy, my mom had ordered it from somewhere. It was supposed to come via mail. And I'm waiting and waiting and waiting. And it's kind of similar to the situation that Clint is in right now, where he sent off something like, say, 50 miles away, and it's still in transit after 2 weeks. Yep. 3 weeks went by, and we finally noticed it didn't come in. So my mom kind of figured it's probably gotten stolen. And come to find out, my neighbor up the street stole it.
Oh,
how'd you find that out?
We found out like a couple months later because his mom ratted him out.
Oh, his mom did. Wow. So you got the game eventually, just later?
No, because I had already gotten it.
Oh, I see.
She ended up. I think she ended up giving my mom whatever the money was.
Gotcha.
Right.
$20-$30 for whatever the game cost. But yeah, I did have something stolen from me.
Wow.
It's terrible. I not packages, but when we first got Banner, like we would just put like an extra pair of shoes out in the front, just so we have, if he had to go out to pee and stuff, we would just slip our shoes on and go. I've had my shoes stolen from that front porch before, which is like, why are you taking my old shoes? Like, what's the point? Like, congratulations, I guess.
You know what's funny is I've had shoes stolen before from me too at the gym.
Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. See, that sucks. Cause I mean, why would you steal someone's gym shoes? Like,
so I actually know the reason for that, because the school I went to was CU Denver, and it's like in the middle of downtown. And I guess bums would try to come through the locker rooms to try to find stuff. So
I was just gonna say it's probably homeless.
So probably I was like, all right, you know what? If you need this, you need those size 8s or 9s that badly, I'll get over it.
Yeah.
So if we're talking about just in general having stuff stolen, I did one time when I was working in New Orleans, somebody busted out my back window to take a very small toolbox of very simple tools, like maybe a screwdriver and a wrench and a pair of pliers and a roll of duct tape and a case of like CDs that were maybe like 10 or 20 CDs in it or something. That's basically all they got. And busted my back window. It was an extended cab pickup truck. So like he used a screwdriver to pry the window and they were just trying to pop it open, but ended up popping the entire glass.
Oh, it just fell in and broke.
Yeah.
That's
shattered.
silly.
And you never found out. You never got caught that you know of?
Not that I know of, no.
No.
So I had one good story about people like. So I used to work when I was at EA. I worked on NHL for a few years, and one of the producers I worked with, he used to get all the jerseys from the European hockey leagues. So he'd get shipped like boxes of jerseys for references because he used to do all the referencing for art and stuff. And there was this one particular team's jersey that I loved. He was used to give them to me because after he's done doing it, he's like, I don't know what to do with these. I usually donate them. But if you want them, take which ones you want. So I picked up 2 of the jerseys. I had a buddy that I played NHL online with, and he, we love these jerseys. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to send him one. So I sent him one. And at the time they were using FedEx as a shipping company. So I shipped this jersey down to him. 2 weeks later, I get a call from our shipping person. She's like, hey, did you ship a jersey out, like to California for a buddy? And I was like, yeah, I did. She's like, I'm gonna need you to come downstairs. I'm like, okay, like what the hell happened here? And she goes, okay, so what happened was the guy at FedEx that was picking up the packages, I guess he noticed that there was a package marked to leave the studio or whatever. And I guess he felt like the package and was like a jersey. So the guy tried to steal it. So he stole this jersey, and he was probably expecting it to be like some kind of like, maybe it was a Canucks jersey, or maybe it was like an NHL jersey, maybe something signed, because we get a lot of things that we send out to different marketing people or whatever. So this guy probably thought he hit the jackpot, and he opens this thing up, and it's this fucking German league hockey jersey that no one's ever gonna have heard of. And she was like, yeah, well, we found the jersey, we found the guy that, like, it was the FedEx driver that stole it. And we'll ship it back out for you for free or whatever. And I'm like, what happened to the guy? And he's like, oh, he's been fired. I'm like, oh my god.
Oh, you can't keep him after that.
Oh yeah, of course not. Yeah, losing your job over a German DEL League hockey jersey has got to be one of the silliest things that anyone's been ever fired for.
Well,
So,
that's why I'm so confused why people feel it's worth the risk to stake something off somebody's porch. I've never. Anyway,
I feel
great
like-
question, Alex.
yeah, in that when I think about it, I think people think it's like a victimless crime almost. Like it's
Yeah.
like no one's seeing me doing this. Like if there's no camera, no one's gonna know it's missing. I think people feel like they're bold enough to do that based on that, but it's a shitty thing to do. So just
They
don't
also
do it.
probably think that the retailer, Target, Amazon, whatever, will refund or replace it, and so you're really hurting them. But
No.
it's still stupid. I 100%,
Stupid.
100% agree. Just keep your own shit.
Yeah, don't be an asshole.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not that hard.
For some people,
it's apparently it is. Yeah, for
Yeah.
some people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But yeah. Anyways, thank you, Alex, for that question that turned into a much longer discussion than we were anticipating. Next question comes from Bernie Lockard.
Bernie from the 3 Bam Podcast.
Yeah.
3 beers and a mic.
His question, and this one may be up for discussion, but what is your favorite Christmas cookie?
Okay, so we're clarifying, like, not just what your favorite cookie is, but what's your favorite cookie
Christmas
to have at
cookie.
Christmas.
Yes.
Specifically Christmas cookie in the question.
Specifically Christmas cookie.
A well-made snickerdoodle is hard to
Ooh.
beat
That's
during Christmas
That's-
time.
Yeah.
Or just a plain well-made sugar cookie for Christmas. I mean, normally I'm a chocolate chip kind of guy myself, but
Yeah.
during the holidays, give me a good sugar cookie or a good snickerdoodle, and I'm in heaven.
So my answer is actually my neighbor brought some of these over just the other day, and they're so good. It's the peanut butter cookies with the Hershey Kiss, right, and smack dab in the middle. And I feel like you only see those around the holidays. I don't feel like you see those year round. So that's mine right now because it was damn good. Thank you, Kylie. It was delicious. So that's my answer.
That sounds really tasty. I don't
That
actually
sounds really
have an
good.
answer because I don't eat a whole lot of cookies. And so I don't know anything specifically that strikes me as a holiday cookie. Although I'm going to go with Clint. That sounds freaking great. I like peanut butter cookies, period. So
Right.
that sounds awesome. I would love to have one right now because I'm kind of hungry. Actually.
Yeah, it turned out. So I was now before that answer, I don't know. I mean, the sugar cookie makes a lot of sense. The snickerdoodle makes a lot of sense, but chocolate chips always my go-to. And I mean, Santa likes chocolate chip cookies, or so I've heard. So that's what I would go with if there wasn't that other cookie.
Wait, aren't you Santa in your household?
That's the point. That's the joke.
Is it a joke?
I didn't say it was a good one, but how about you, Nate?
Yeah, I think sugar cookies are definitely my favorite during the season, just because you get the wonderful Christmas tree shapes, you get the star shapes, you get all the dinosaur whatever shapes that they come in. You can get creative with it, and you put all the icing on it and whatnot. So it's always a good time. I think I also really like a good gingerbread cookie. Like a good gingerbread man is like just nothing beats maiming a gingerbread cookie.
And this is the only time of year that gingerbread's like sounds good.
Right.
Like if I told you in
It's
like
weird.
July, hey, you want a gingerbread cookie?
Yeah.
You're like, no.
No,
Yeah,
yeah,
I heard
and
that
it's
is bad.
weird. It's weird, right? Yeah.
Did you really say dinosaur cookie earlier? Where the hell
Yeah, it's
did
like a
that come
dinosaur
from?
shape. You know,
Like,
just the shapes.
Yeah,
The crazy
the
shapes.
cookie
whatever
cutters come
shapes you
out.
want.
Yeah, I get that.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one that felt that was weird. Okay.
Anyway,
Thank you
yeah,
for the
thanks, Brittany.
question.
Thank you.
That was a much
wanna-
shorter discussion than I was expecting, because I thought we were gonna I thought someone was gonna say something stupid, like just be like, I like Ritz crackers, and then we just like get flamed for like half an hour.
I like
about your poor
cheese.
choice in cookies. Yeah. But hey, we're all on the same page here, which is nice for once. Which is
Yeah, that won't happen again.
Strange. It won't happen.
It won't.
Again. We won't
It
let
won't.
it. So as you guys can tell, we're getting in the festive spirit. We're 5 days from Christmas. By the time you hear this, we're 4 days from Christmas, which is honestly blows my mind that the year's kind of gone so quickly and also so short. So quickly, but also feels like so long that we're nearing the end of it. But we want to get together today to talk about something that we always have joked about, but we're going to finally settle this and put this to rest. Specifically with
now?
Iron Man 3.
Are we now?
We're not. No.
We're not, but this is going to be good. We want to talk about Christmas movies that are they actually Christmas movies? So are these movies that have a setting of Christmas in them, are they actually, can they be considered Christmas movies? And I think we just started with Iron Man 3 because
We should have ended with Iron Man 3.
We'll end with it. We still can.
We can end with Iron Man 3.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you want to start with? You want to start with Die Hard?
Start with it. It's the worst Marvel movie. End with it. It's not a Christmas movie. There.
It's not the worst Marvel movie.
Done. No, that honor goes to Thor: The Dark
Yeah, I was
World.
gonna say the Dark World.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
I think we
Thor:
have to
Dark World
establish this first of all before we go on for our listeners. I understand there's a difference between a movie that comes out during Christmas that's intended to be a quote unquote Christmas movie and a movie that just happens to take place during Christmas. So we're not going to, I don't think our discussion is going to be debating that because every movie we're going to talk about takes place during Christmas. So if we were saying that was the measuring stick, then all these, yes, would be Christmas movies. I think what we're debating, unless I'm wrong here, is whether this movie has quote unquote the Christmas spirit to it. Is it a movie that you would watch during Christmas, whether, be by yourself or with family or whatever? Because like I said, it's pretty simple. Is Iron Man 3 a Christmas movie? If you say, does it take place during Christmas? Yes, discussion's over. World's shortest podcast. We're done. So we have to set some kind of parameters here for our discussion / argument that we're going to have.
By the way,
But-
I want to record an episode where it's the world's shortest podcast and it's just one sound and that's the end of it. Anyway, please go on.
Done.
There's
I
episode
think-
75.
So we're going to throw that out. So we understand because every movie we're going to talk about tonight has Christmas as part of it. So
Right.
that's not the measuring stick.
That's
You
not the
can't
measuring
say-
stick.
Right.
I think another thing that we need to consider is if you took Christmas out of that movie, would that movie still work? If it doesn't, then I
that's
would
interesting.
lean towards it being a Christmas movie because the central theme is Christmas. Like if Christmas is a plot device of that movie or like a staple of that movie, I think it pushes it more towards it being a Christmas movie than not.
So like A Christmas Story, for instance, if you take Christmas out of that, it's
Right,
just
weird
a
movie.
about
It's just-
some weird little kid that wants a gun.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I get that.
Yeah, right,
Okay, that's not a bad way to look
Yeah.
at it.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good measuring stick. I'll go with that.
All right.
So let's start. I would like to actually start with one that when I was doing a little research on this, surprised me that it came up on several internet lists as not a Christmas movie, and that's Home Alone.
Mhm.
I
Like, how
beg
do
to
you-
differ. It
How
is.
do you dare,
You're right.
sir or madam, as the case may be, suggest that Home Alone is not a Christmas movie?
My only thought on that is Home Alone 2 is not a Christmas movie, right?
Why?
That
No,
is
they're
the
talking about the
Christmas-
original one. There's no
Understood,
mention
but
of
I'm saying the same
series.
thing works under that same criteria. The only thing that makes it the Christmas portion is that his family's gone on Christmas holiday. But in theory, and this is just hypothetical, they could be on summer vacation.
Right.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
And they could
then
have gotten lost as well on summer vacation.
right. That's
Yeah.
now. But the problem with that is obviously like you can't do the ice stuff. Then you can't do, the church stuff won't work nearly as well. It'd be weird if Kevin went to church by himself in the middle of July versus around the holidays. So I hear I'm just trying to think of where that's coming from. I agree with you. It's a holiday movie, but
Right.
I'm just trying to think of where the argument comes from that it is not a Hollywood.
I
or a
mean, he's
Hollywood
singing
movie.
Christmas songs
Right,
in the movie
right.
too, right? So
I think if I understood correctly, and I kind of get where they're coming from on some of these, is that Christmas itself has to almost be like kind of what Nate was saying, like as a plot device, I guess, but almost like it's a character in and of itself.
Mhm.
Like
Hmm.
Christmas is important to the story. And for me, for Home Alone, it is just like what Clint said, it's all about, I understand it's about him growing up and maturing, and being a changed person from the time he gets left alone to the time, they come back. But at the same time, I think there's a big Christmas spirit theme, in there. Clint mentioned the church scene. I think that scene between him and the neighbor that's always salting the ice that they, saying is a serial killer at the beginning of the show. the movie. I think that interaction, I think that whole Christmas spirit type thing is a big driving force in the movie. So basically, everybody that wrote that article on the internet, you'll never hear this, but you're a bunch of morons. So that was just me throwing something out there. I didn't think any of us were going to debate that one.
I was just trying to figure it out more than anything.
You can't figure out stupid, Clint.
Well, I've tried numerous times and probably will again. But anyway,
I mean, that's why I finally just accepted Nate for who he is. You know, I mean,
It's better
look
than
how much happier you guys are.
exactly.
You have a kid together now.
I can't figure out this idiot, so I'm just going to accept him for his moronic ways and move on with my life.
And now McGuire has 2 dads. All right, moving on.
He does.
he does. It's wonderful.
All right, what else on the list?
Die Hard.
Die Hard.
I can't
Absolutely
comment too
a
much
Christmas
about this
movie.
because I really don't remember too much about the plot. So
Okay, I mean,
The plot is it's a Christmas movie.
well, so why don't you explain that to somebody that might debate it?
Okay, so I think the big thing is, again, looking at it as Christmas is a character almost within the movie. People argue that one, unlike Home Alone, you take out Christmas. To me, it's not Home Alone. Like, it doesn't have the same staying power as far as people wanting to watch it over and over again. Die Hard, at its heart, is not a Christmas movie. At its heart, it's an action movie. Like, if you take out kind of like what you said, if it's Kevin's family going on summer vacation, yes, it's still a movie, but it's not, I don't think, as well loved of as a movie. But if you all of a sudden change Die Hard to be just some random day, like it's New Year's Eve instead of Christmas Eve or whatever it is that's going on with the party, then it's still a hella good action movie. I personally think it is a Christmas movie, but I understand people's point of view on Die Hard and why they say that it's not, because it's not an asset to the movie that it take place during Christmas.
I disagree with it not being an asset. I first of all, I absolutely agree Die Hard is a Christmas movie. If you think about the plot of Die Hard, okay, sure, you take away that his ex-wife or his separated wife, he's going to see her on Christmas Eve for the holidays. You take that out, it's not the holidays, he can go see her anytime he wants. But the reason why the terrorists are targeting the plaza during the holidays is because everyone's gone home for the holidays. There's less people, the streets are empty, there's much less going on in the city. People are off celebrating with their families and whatnot, so it makes it a lot easier for them to make a lot of noise in the building to rob this place.
I'm going to play devil's advocate. You could do that same thing over Thanksgiving.
You could do that same thing at night. The whole thing takes place at night when no one's there anyway.
Right.
Just saying. I'm just saying.
I love it as a Christmas movie. I think
I think it fits
fantastic.
Okay, so you have the Christmas part plays the part in why it even happens in the first place. Okay, let's say that's the case. There also is the I have a machine gun now, ho ho ho, portion that adds to it. I'm trying to think if there's any other references to the holidays actually in that movie besides the end when they say Happy Holidays when Carl Winslow, whatever his actual character name, and Bruce Willis go their separate ways.
Carl Winslow.
So I'm actually impressed I remember that character's name. But my point is, besides those instances, where else is Christmas either even mentioned in the movie? And this is more for this isn't me being a smart ass or playing devil's advocate. This is me asking seriously, where else does it talk about the holidays there?
I don't know if it's necessarily talked about, because I can't remember for the life of me this part, because it's been since last year since I've seen it. I haven't gotten around to it this year.
Right. It's a Christmas movie. You haven't watched it. I get it.
But I know there's the whole, isn't there like some gift that he's getting or something? I'm trying to remember that part in the beginning where he's trying to get a gift for his wife or kid or something. I mean, there's other Christmassy stuff to it.
Okay.
But it's not, again, unlike some of the other movies, if you take Christmas out, it's still an action movie. Whereas if you take Christmas out of Home Alone, what's it, just like some random slapstick comedy? And again, how does it, hold weight? I mean, obviously it loses the holiday appeal, so people don't, watch it during that time. It's not like Elf, where
Right.
again it's not argued that's a Christmas movie, and that's the movie is about Christmas and the Christmas spirit.
Taking Christmas out of Elf would be just a deranged, mentally ill adult while roaming around New York in tights, wondering where his dad is. So
You know what I find odd is that the movies that made us just did their holiday special with Elf and The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah.
But the two best Christmas movies, Die Hard and Home Alone, were done as part of their regular series and not the Christmas holiday movies that made us.
There you go. Wow. Anyway, so I mean, I think I agree with you that Home Alone is too, but that Die Hard is actually a Christmas movie. It's almost like the spirit of Christmas encourages you to watch it. It's funny. I don't know. It's funny. How many Die Hards are there now? 5?
I think
I know
that's right.
No,
but my point is,
4.
regardless, my point is, does anybody ever get excited? Ooh, I need to go watch Die Hard 3. I mean, Samuel L. Jackson's in it, so there's a reason to watch it, but no one has the urge to watch it like they do around the holidays.
Right. 1 and 2. I think 1 and 2 for me are the ones that I watch during the holidays because they're both Christmas.
Does 2 take place during the holidays? No one even talks about Die Hard 2. So okay.
2's the one at the airport, right?
Yeah, 2's the one at the airport.
Yeah, okay.
Which is Christmas Eve at the airport. Yeah.
Also Christmas movie. Okay.
Yeah, also
so I say yes. Nate says yes. Clint says yes. Ryan says he never watched it or doesn't remember, and he's playing Minesweeper or something on his computer right now. He's not paying attention.
Minesweeper.
Yeah, so we'll move on.
I do play Minesweeper, just to clarify, but not right now. No.
Yeah, he seemed like
it's a nerdy game to play. Yes.
All right, I'm going to throw the next one out for everybody.
I like Minesweeper too.
Gremlins. Could have been just a birthday gift. Didn't have to be a Christmas gift.
Right.
You're right.
He's got a
and
point
I'm trying
there.
to think of, and it's been a long time. And I remember Gremlins 2 much better than Gremlins 1. Which is
been a
funny
long time since I watched the Gremlins movies myself.
Is Gremlins 2 the one they make fun of in Key and Peele, and at the end they're like, all of this is actually in the movie? Do y'all remember that skit that they did?
No,
yeah.
I'd like.
It's like all the board members are sitting around, or like producers are talking about the movie, and they bring in somebody to pitch them some ideas, and it's just the most off the wall pitches about stuff that should take place in the movie, and there's this statue comes to life and blah 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 blah, and it's all this stuff that they list out. And so they kick this dude out thinking he's crazy or whatever. I can't remember exactly what happens at the end. But then at the very end of the skit, they're like, and all this stuff actually made it into Gremlins 2. And it's absolutely hilarious.
Interesting.
But I'm sorry, go ahead, Clint. Tell us about.
Well, I'm just saying, I remember 2 versus 1. And the reason that's important is they're basically the same movie. Gremlins 2 just came later and had more, more ideas thrown into it. But yeah, besides being the holiday gift, I can't think of any other reference that I recall from Gremlins to constitute it as a holiday movie.
Mm-hmm.
But please tell me I'm wrong any way you can.
No, I don't feel like it is. I don't feel when I was thinking back about these movies on the list, I was like, do I remember Christmas as being an important part of this movie? And I'm like, oh, wait, Gremlins took place during Christmas. So I'm like, no, to me, it's not. Because again, I don't remember that. It's got to be a big part of it for me to remember it and then say, oh, yes. And then I still have to make the argument to myself, oh, it's a Christmas movie. But to me, it's not. I don't know. What about you there, Asian Tony Minesweeper?
This is another movie I don't really remember too much about for the overall plot. So
right.
I'm gonna go with you guys. I mean, obviously, my main focus today is gonna be discussing Iron Man 3.
We'll get there. Yeah.
We'll get
So
there.
we'll let you
a lot to
log
say
out
there.
for the next 20 minutes, and we'll buzz you when it's time to talk about Iron Man 3.
We'll call you. We'll buzz you back in.
Fair.
We'll let you know.
As I work on the artwork for this week.
There you go.
Ho ho ho.
I don't think I think I agree with you guys. I don't think Gremlins necessarily is a Christmas movie. Again, this is one that I'm gonna have to go back and watch myself, but you're right, it's a Christmas gift, but it could have been very easily been a birthday gift. It could have been
Arbor Day gift.
Hey, I ran over your bike gift, right? It could have been any of those things. So
Sorry for stealing your package gift.
Yeah. Sorry for stealing your package gift. Yeah, I mean, just because it takes place over the Christmas time period doesn't necessarily mean it has to be necessarily a Christmas movie. So yeah, I think this is a no for me.
No for me.
No for
We
me.
have 3 no's and a leave me alone. I'm playing Minesweeper. So
And a Minesweeper.
the
And a
next
Partridge.
movie is very interesting, and so I'm waiting to hear some people's takes on this one. Batman Returns.
Mm.
I'm gonna let y'all go first on that one.
So I absolutely remember it taking place during Christmas, but I'm trying to think of anywhere where it makes sense. I guess the only part that really makes sense that it's part of Christmas is the penguin and how much he supposedly likes the cold, but you can also like the cold in January. So
Mhm.
I'm trying to recall. I remember Christmas being a part of it, but even God, when that come out? 92? So it's really hard to remember.
Sounds
'cause I
about
haven't seen it
right.
lately.
It's
Yeah,
been a while,
92,
yeah.
93.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's 92. Good
But
call,
I'm
Clint. 92.
trying to remember anything else that really made me feel like it was a holiday movie.
Well, there's the big downtown scene with all the Christmas stuff.
Mhm.
That's
Do-
pretty
does the-
Christmassy.
Is there a part on the Christmas stuff where like the penguin rides down something on his umbrella, or am I just making that up in my head?
Rides down what?
Like
Like
he
a
uses the
typical-
umbrella like to ride down a string of lights or decorations that are up or something like that.
Not that
I think he
recall.
does. Now that Clint's mentioned it, I think there is a scene where he does that and busts all the bulbs on it. or
Yes,
something.
that's exactly what I'm thinking. Yeah, but I don't know if that's I don't know. I wouldn't call that a central part of the story.
Yeah, no, that part's not. But like I said, there's like the big scene, I guess downtown, if you want to call it that, with all the Christmas presents and all the big decorations and all that kind of stuff. But I'm going back to the whole thing of here's my thing. Like when I think of these movies that are on the is it or isn't list, is it one of the first things I think of? Is it the second thing? Is it third? If I have to get to like, is it the 10th thing about that movie that I think about? To me, it's not a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
So again, Batman Returns, if it doesn't take place during Christmas, to me, it doesn't really change the movie. It's still a Batman comic book movie. To me, it's not a Christmas movie.
I agree. I
You
don't
know what
think
this is leading to for you, don't you,
Yeah.
Agent Tony Minesweeper?
I have a
It's
lot
coming.
of
Yeah,
arguments.
that's
and
what you're
points
doing
here.
over there. You say you're working on the artwork, but I think you're typing a dissertation over there with your points from your
Hey.
time at the speech and debate club at Hawaii High or wherever it was.
Hey, if he has a dissertation, I will read it. So good on him. Let's keep. So I think it's 3 no's and Orion again.
No,
Three no's
let me
and a
ask you
lie.
guys this because I remember parts about this movie.
Okay.
And I'm also trying to refresh my memory here. The
Yeah,
part where
I hear
the penguins come out with the missiles and all of that, isn't that
Mhm.
closer to
Yes.
New Year's? I could have sworn that part in specific, it's like closer to
I'm
New
trying
Year's
to
Eve.
remember. I think it takes place over kind of like that holiday week that
Yeah.
leads from like Christmas to New Year's. So I think there may be part of that in there too, but it's definitely takes place also during the Christmas part of the holidays.
Okay. I bring up that part because for the movie to be focused specifically around Christmas and around that time period, that would constitute more of like me saying yes, it would be considered a Christmas movie. There are not enough elements of Christmas, and in my opinion here from the limited recollection that I'm pulling here, to say yes that it is a Christmas movie. Because that part alone, the fact that I'm pretty sure it's closer to New Year's, that kind of like puts the nail on the coffin for me.
What say you, Nate?
I don't think it is. I mean, yeah, like Clint said, it's just like if you're talking weather-wise, it's cold all year round in some places. It can be, like just because there's snow doesn't necessarily mean it has to be during the Christmas week. And I mean, to your point too, Joey, where it's like when I think about this movie, what am I going through in my head? Sure, I know it's set during Christmas. I remember the Christmas tree. I remember, there's a lot of celebrations and lights and whatnot, but that's it. Like there's nothing there that says that none of this stuff couldn't have taken place a week before, 2 weeks before Christmas. It didn't even need to mention Christmas at all. And I think the movie could carry on very well.
It doesn't
without
move
that.
the movie forward.
No, it doesn't. No, I
or
don't think so.
or any any shape, form, or fashion. I mean, to me, Gremlins has a better argument because, again, it's a Christmas present that he gets,
Right.
the last minute present that he gets.
Mhm.
To me, it has more of an argument.
Is
But I
there
would think
ever
Batman Returns is not.
is there a gift that Batman receives in that gift or in that movie that's supposed to be, from a villain, and that's how he finds something out, or they knock? I don't know. I'm just trying to think of anything I can at all recall with this movie and how it
I don't
relates
know.
to Christmas. Because everywhere it's referred to as a Christmas movie.
I
Just
don't.
like Gremlins. But
Again, if I've got to think back to an old movie and somebody says, "Oh, that took place during Christmas," or the fact that I saw it on "Is it a Christmas movie or not?" list,
Mhm.
and that rings, "Oh yeah, that's right, Christmas is part of the movie," then to me it's like, okay, it wasn't a Christmas movie to me.
Right.
That I had to be reminded that Christmas, or that it took place during Christmas.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I think. Yeah, I don't think so. I'm curious as to why people think it is a Christmas movie. I think that's in some of these cases where I feel that it's not. I feel like I need to see people's arguments as to why it is, and it's got to
Right.
be better than they have a giant Christmas tree and they do a Christmas lighting ceremony. Because I'm just glancing through the Wikipedia because it has been a while since I watched this movie. But I do remember a lot about it. There was a charity ball where
Mhm.
Penguin had had a plan to kidnap or to kill somebody there, but that could be any time. That doesn't necessarily need to be it's not a, even if it was a Christmas ball, it could have been a charity ball in the summertime. Like it wouldn't have to necessarily been a Christmas themed event to move the plot point forward.
Okay.
Yeah. So before we
Maybe
get
if it
to
was like Jesus's birthday party, then that's different, right? Like,
so
Anyway.
before we get to the biggie, the elephant in the room, I'm just going to run through some of these other ones that I found, and if
Okay.
anybody has some comments, I thought it was pretty interesting. The other one that I meant to mention earlier with Home Alone that got brought up on the list that I was really surprised about that we may want to talk about for a second is, and I saw it on several lists, is The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh well, yes, that one
is a
that one
Christmas
has
movie.
to be. Yeah,
It is
no
a
It has to
Christmas movie.
Yeah.
absolutely.
The argument here is that it's a Halloween movie more so than it's a Christmas movie, is what most of the lists say.
It works both ways.
So the
I
only
think
reason,
so too, but
yeah, it definitely works both ways. But the reason I even think it's more of a Christmas movie is Halloween movies are made to just scare you and whatever the case is for Halloween, while Christmas movies usually have a moral or have an underlining achievement that happens throughout the movie, and this movie definitely does. And it realizes how important Christmas is and how important it is to let Christmas be Christmas, not interrupt it, and keep stay in your lane kind of thing. So I think that could help justify why it would be more of a Christmas movie. Now, as I say that, I don't have any intentions of watching it this week, but I did watch it over Halloween.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I'll say that.
and I think that's people's other argument too, is it's a movie that's traditionally watched around Halloween,
Mhm.
not something that's watched around Christmas. But I know none of us are really big Krampus fans, even though Nate does have a Krampus proto.
I do. It's
See,
Kelly's. I'm just holding it for her.
yes. So like that would kind of go along those same things. Like, do you watch Krampus on Halloween or do you watch it on Christmas? I don't know.
I want
Another
neither
one that,
because horror movies are scary.
yeah, you
Yeah.
just read about it on Wikipedia.
Anyway.
Another one that I was found interesting that was debated, and I find it interesting that people are debating that it is, because to me, in no shape, form, or fashion is it, and that's Frozen. Just because it takes place in the cold and it came out around Christmas is the argument that people are making that it is. And again, this is one of the ones that's not just, it's not like I found one random list where people just listing arbitrary movies. It was like on several lists that said, is Frozen or
Here,
is Frozen
I'll
not?
end this right now. I'll end why the Frozen is not a Christmas movie, because they have a whole Christmas special that takes place over Christmas. They have a whole movie, a whole 30-minute short that's Christmas related. That's Christmas Frozen. The movie itself takes place in the fucking summer. So it's not a Christmas movie at all. There's no reference to Christmas. There's not
To
at
me,
all.
to me, it's not either.
Yeah, it's not a Christmas movie, and it came out in mid to late November, if memory serves me right, in 2015. Right, it came out to 2014, mid to late November. It did not get released in December. It has no Christmas tie. It's not like there's a Christmas tree in
It's
it.
because it's cold. Does not make
Yeah.
it Christmas. Does not make it holiday. Agreed.
Another one was Trading Places, which is actually a pretty good movie. But again, other than the scene where Dan Aykroyd is dressed up as a dirty-looking like hobo Santa, like to me, it just doesn't scream Christmas either.
Right.
Dirty-looking hobo Santa. That's funny.
Yes. So I would say no on that one too.
I would
and
say
I know
no.
a lot of people. Another one that was interesting, which I've never seen the movie, although I know of it, is Eyes Wide Shut.
Yes, that was it. Yeah. I saw that on the list too, and that was interesting. Yeah.
I would not consider the movie a Christmas movie. Catch Me If You Can was also on several lists.
As a Christmas movie?
Yes.
Okay, that one I can understand a little bit more of it having some sort of tie because he's like confessing over the holidays, and it's like, what is his character's name? Tom Hanks is
Frank.
Yeah, there you go. So Tom Hanks is continually chasing the guy, right? But it's always during the holidays. It focuses on this several times throughout the movie that he always turns back and he's like, I need somebody to talk to because I really have nobody else in my life. So the central focal point about family, which a lot of great Christmas and holiday movies focus on, that has a lot of undertones on it. So I would agree to some extent.
So if I'm listening to Asian Tony Minesweeper here, I totally agree with that. But then I go back to my kind of measuring stick. I remember Catch Me If You Can as a good movie, but I don't remember anything Christmassy about it. Like I had to be reminded by looking at this list that like what Ryan said was that it does focus on the holidays. Like, like it starts off on Christmas. There's like a flashback to Christmas. He's caught on Christmas Eve, I think is what it is. So it is a central theme, but again, I'm going to have to say no because I don't remember that part of the movie.
He calls him every year on Christmas and he's like,
I
you're the only one I have.
I've never seen this movie, but if that's the case, then I absolutely agree that this would be a holiday movie.
I would suggest you watch it. It's a good
It
movie.
is actually a really good movie.
It is a good
good
movie.
thing.
The fact that it's based on true account, it just makes it all that much more interesting to me.
Yes.
And there's two good actors in it.
Yeah,
fantastic.
Yeah, so I would recommend it.
Okay, so one more before we move on to the big elephant, and that's another stretch one to me, kind of along the same line as Frozen, but it's the Harry Potter movie franchise.
Yeah, this one popped in my head as a Christmas movie just because they do have a significant portion of the movie and the book that takes place over the holidays. Harry is left at school because he has nowhere else to go, and that's where he really solidifies his friendship with Ron because they're both there. He gets gifted a sweater. It's really good character development. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I interrupted you.
I was going to say, I get why it says that. With that all said, though, every Harry Potter takes place in a year, not in one segment of time.
Right.
So I was thinking Harry Potter's a great movie to watch during the holidays, and that's probably the part that's why.
Yes.
But it is not central to the movie, but it is a significant part to the story.
Clint kind of took the words out of my mouth, so thanks for that, Clint. But what I was going to say before Clint so eloquently said it instead was it's not a Christmas movie, but it's a movie I enjoy watching around Christmas, if that makes any sense whatsoever.
Nope,
like right now, like we've been binging them for a while because we don't watch usually more than one in a weekend, but we just watched Deathly Hallows Part 1. I think it was last night. We watched it, or maybe it was Friday night. I don't remember now for sure, but it was this weekend. And it's always like on ABC or Freeform or whatever station it comes on. It's always played marathon stuff near the Christmas holidays. But I think, again, because like Clint said, you kind of get that winter vibe from it, but also because it's a good thing to show over holiday break when kids are home, because it's a good marathon to take up the time where you show 8 movies over 8 days or whatever. But I would say no, it's not.
I would agree with no. I understand why it's at least listed, but I'm a no.
Yeah.
You know, another movie real quick before you get to the big one that pops in my head every holiday, which is not a holiday or Christmas movie, is Lord of the Rings. And I don't really understand why it popped. Maybe because that's when they were released, but I'm trying to think of why that movie always kind of feels like a holiday movie to me. All 3 of them.
Yeah. if you think about it, there's a lot of fantasy movies that play around the holidays.
Mhm.
Like typically on TV, if they're doing marathons or showing stuff
Sure.
like that, there's a
Yeah.
lot of fantasy movies that show around that time.
But it's just interesting because they don't reference Christmas. They don't walk. I don't even think it snows. There's the one part, I guess, in the first one when they're on top of a mountain and there's snow. Well, no shit. But otherwise, why is it a Christmas movie in my head? I don't know. But I've known other people that feel that way. But good point. Good time to binge kind of thing, and maybe that's why. All right, moving on.
Is it time?
It is time, not for the game, but it's time for Asian Tony Minesweeper to make his case on why Iron Man 3 is a Christmas movie. The floor is yours, sir. Go ahead.
All right. So, most important thing that we've been talking about.
Wrong!
I can see Joey just aching to say
He's
that.
waiting for
Yeah.
that. Joey's been like
Oh,
waiting
yeah.
for that all episode.
We're talking about the most important thing in the movie being like some sort of family tie or some sort of thing that brings people together. The whole focus on that movie is him protecting his family, being Pepper, and him admitting and saying, I need to protect the one thing that I can't live without, and that's you. And it all goes towards the end where he basically sacrifices a lot of his stuff, blows up his suits for Pepper. Before we go into all the other stuff and the fact that Jarvis has a Christmas stocking, he buys Pepper a giant bunny as part of her Christmas present. There's a Christmas tree in Tony's house in Malibu. The main focus, again, is on family. And so if we're going back and we're saying the plausibility that a movie like Catch Me If You Can be considered a holiday film or a Christmas film, that's the head right there.
So does it not work to you if Christmas is not part of that movie? Does it not have the same impact on your life?
I'm trying to think from like the general person's perspective that may not see it the same way that I do. There's two varying opinions. You can look at it in the respect that it doesn't necessarily need to focus around Christmas. It's more just a wholesome film about me protecting the person that I love and admitting that I need to do everything I can to protect them. But in my opinion, the feel of the film doesn't resonate the same way if it's not centered around the holidays.
To me, really, Batman Returns, you would have to make that a Christmas movie in your head too, because it's really basically the same thing that most people argue. Two things: A, Christmas is a part of it; it takes place during Christmas, and then two, a lot of it has to do with family or lack thereof. Penguin was orphaned. Batman was orphaned. It's a lot of family stuff in play just as much as it is in Iron Man. So does that change your opinion about Batman now?
Maybe if I understood the storyline a little bit better offhand right now. The other one that comes up time and time again, and I'm surprised we didn't discuss it, is Love Actually.
Well, it has to be a Christmas movie. There's
Some
no way
people
you get
say
around
no. Some people say
Oh.
no. I beg to
Those people
differ.
are wrong.
Yeah, those people are
people are
definitely
wrong.
wrong. I mean,
The
for
whole thing.
God's sakes, they're singing Christmas carols.
Right.
Right.
Well,
You know?
the kids playing in a Christmas pageant. They're giving
Yeah,
gifts
it's a
at
Christmas
the end of
pageant,
Christmas
yeah.
gifts. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
There's so many Christmas parties in that movie.
So I don't understand where some people get off saying it's not a Christmas movie. It's not a Christmas movie. Get your head
Real
out of your
quick.
ass. It's a Christmas movie.
it totally is. No, there's no question about that one. That's like saying The Holiday isn't a Christmas movie. It's fucking named The Holiday. Anyway, where I'm going though, a lot of people do consider Batman Returns a Christmas movie, and Ryan makes a very good point that those same people who considered that one would have to consider Iron Man 3 a Christmas movie.
Yeah, great. Thanks for reiterating the same point I made.
I actually did it reversed. But yes,
He's like, I concur.
I concur, but backwards.
I want to give him some credit, okay?
I think this is what the
Credit's
thing
important.
for me. It's credit is
Ding the
important.
bell.
Ring the
Oh,
bell.
is that a
Ring the
bill?
bell.
Yes.
I didn't know that was one. Sorry.
I think the thing that we need to take away from this is that everyone's going to measure what a Christmas movie is based on different criteria.
Yeah.
I think there's some things that you just cannot debate. There's some movies that you can't debate, and there's obviously ones like Batman Returns, ones like Iron Man 3 that there's always going to be some sort of debate because it's for whatever reason it's a very polarizing topic. But like I'm just trying to think with Iron Man 3, like I understand Ryan's idea, like what he's saying about the theme of the family, like what he's doing in it, but you take that out, why couldn't he do this any other time of the year? Is there any significance that he had to do this during Christmas time, or that he only felt this way during Christmas time? Was it something like back with stuff with his family, like with his dad, like when Tony was younger? Like was there some kind of tie there that set this course of movie and direction was only gonna happen during the holidays?
If you want to go there, yes.
How much is that? The one that starts off with him doing the I don't know if AI is the right thing. I guess it was, where he's like, reliving the moment at his parents' house. Or is that in 2?
That's actually in Civil War,
right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Okay. So then no, I was about to be on board with Nate's explanation, and then you went and said no, it was in Civil War, and I was like, oh, yep, nope, back to not being a Christmas movie, not even considering
the
it.
reason why it's important that he brings it up, and I said, well, if you want to bring that up, then that's more cement to lay the foundation here.
No,
because
that's fair, and that's what we're here to discuss.
So
right? Like,
as you look at the continuum that is the MCU, of course, when Iron Man 3 came out, we didn't know about all these things and Tony's troubles with his parents and him not getting the closure that he wanted. So to go to Civil War's perspective, Tony basically says, that's the way I wish it went, but it didn't. So he has a lot of qualms about the fact that he never really got to spend time with his dad as much as he did. And all the lack of the family tie that he was missing all those years, it lays groundwork all the way up through Endgame when he actually gets to meet his dad before he's even born, and he's like, "You'll be okay."
But is that point driven home in Iron Man 3? Like, is his lack of a relationship? Okay, well, you say lay the groundwork, but what does that really mean? Like, about like his dad's relationship and why Christmas would be important to him because of
family.
his...
Family is important, and the one person that he considers family is Pepper, even though they're not married at that point. You're the most important. I know you guys never saw this part of the or you may have saw this part of my wedding video, but there's a reason why my friend that actually did the ceremony for us chose me to recite these lines, and he's like, repeat it after me, Ryan. I need to protect the one thing that I can't live without, and that's you. So to me, that phrase means way more to me than it probably will mean to a lot of other people, because for most other people, it's just a movie. For me, that's my life. My wife married me by those words.
And I think Ryan brings up a very, very good point too. Besides us talking about at the beginning whether the movie takes place in Christmas or not, you also have to take into consideration people's own personal viewpoints and their own personal connections to said movie, right? So if like a dad and a son, start watching Die Hard together, or, watch one of these other ones that we mentioned, Harry Potter, like if that's something you watch with your kids every Christmas, to them, even though that movie doesn't even take place really over Christmas, could eventually become a Christmas movie to somebody. So I think that's the other thing you have to weigh in on too, is, people's personal, not beliefs on whether it's a Christmas movie or not, but their personal connection to it around actual Christmas time.
Yeah, because things can be holiday related just based on tradition, right? Like for me, we don't do bingo as a family anymore. And I know we talked about this several weeks ago, like what is like some of your family traditions, but to me, a family tradition can translate into something holiday mindset. For me, one of those things was playing hot potato and playing bingo. We would never do that any other time of the year, but we would always do it on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's people out there that probably have some random movie that is most certainly not in any shape, form, or fashion a Christmas movie, but for some reason it's been a tradition in their family to watch that movie around Christmas time, right? I mean, it could be, something for the Dark World, the worst Marvel movie ever, and they could be watching it every Christmas just because, it's what they do. So to them, that is a Christmas movie.
So is Iron Man 3 a Christmas movie?
No.
To me, it is.
I'm leaning. See, and I absolutely understand Ryan's point and why he feels like it is, and it is honestly that kind of discussion has made me think more around that. Hey, maybe it might be, but
so yes or no, Nate?
I don't know. I really don't know.
Come on, what a sissy!
I need to watch it again, and I'll get back to you in 2 to 3 business days.
Okay, Clint.
I'm going with no, just because the Batman Returns. I mean,
you lose, Asian Tony Minesweeper.
That's fine.
I mean, it's not a disrespectful thing, but I didn't, and I still don't really, unless I see it again and change my mind, don't think Batman Returns is a Christmas movie.
No,
Mhm.
Under the same logic, it has to be Iron Man 3 is not a Christmas movie. That's the only reason why.
Here's the kicker for anybody else that wants to feel this way. And this came up last Christmas around the same time. And I mentioned Jody in the tweet. Disney and Marvel confirm that Iron Man 3 is in fact a Christmas movie. So if it's coming from the source, then
okay.
you've
Disney
gotta
Plus
believe
has
it.
a holiday movie section. Is it listed in their holiday movie section?
I will go check and I'll let you know.
The answer is no.
Oh, you already checked. Okay, I see.
Did you already
Did you
check?
Maybe.
See?
You'll never know.
I'm gonna
Unless
check
you go
right now. I'm gonna check right now.
All right, pause Minesweeper for a second and go check and see what it says.
He can multitask.
Can you?
DisneyPlus.com.
So is it the plussign.com or is it plus.com?
ELUS. I don't think the plus sign actually works in a URL.
I was about to say.
Well, not for that purpose. It's
Yeah.
just a conjoined word. It's a
Yep.
concatenating thing. Anyway,
Using
Well,
big
this was a-
words, concatenate.
right?
Not everybody says that. I understand what you mean. But
yes, you use Excel and stuff. It comes up. Anyway, excellent discussion. Actually, I hope people have. If anybody listening to this has any opinions on any of these or even movies we might have forgotten, share them. We'll comment on the comment section on Twitter and Instagram. Why not? So
And tell you how wrong you are. Just
Well,
like
there
you
you
told
go.
Ryan how wrong he was.
This will make Joey real mad. On Disney Plus holiday movies and specials, Home Alone 2 is listed as a holiday movie and special.
Why is that going to make me mad?
I thought you didn't like Home Alone 2 as a Christmas movie.
Oh, it is a Christmas movie. It has the same thing. It takes place around Christmas. I mean, I don't think
the
it's as
second
big of a plot device as the
second
first
one.
one.
Okay.
Yeah, but you remember the whole Toy Store thing? It's around Christmas
Yeah.
when it happens.
to me,
The lobby of the
it's-
hotel is decorated.
It's totally a Christmas movie. Totally
So
a
is
Christmas movie.
Iron Man 3 less of a Christmas movie than Home Alone 2 then, since it's not in the Disney Plus holiday section?
It is not in there. We can
Oh,
confirm
we're gonna
that.
Sorry.
I don't know if we
Should
can.
be,
And
though.
by the way, I don't think we can have degrees of holidays. It's just is it or is it not?
I mean,
Oh,
a lot of the
okay.
movies in here, a lot of the stuff that's in here is X character Christmas special. Mickey's
Mhm.
Christmas Carol, Winnie the Pooh, A Very Merry Pooh Year. That sounds actually very,
It's
very bad to
2020.
say.
A very, very 2020 year by Winnie the Pooh. That's wonderful.
What day is today, Piglet? Today is today. Shit. That's how it goes now.
But really,
Instead of-
if I scroll back and forth to a lot of the actual movies that show up here, one of the circular themes is family. And so I'm sticking to my smoking gun here in the situation, in that Tony needs and always will want to protect the one thing that's most important to him. And that one fact alone is built upon movie after movie, whether it's an Iron Man movie, whether it's Captain America Civil War, whether it's Endgame. That's the compounding thing. And of course, he ends up giving the ultimate sacrifice, obviously.
Okay.
It's true. Thanks, Ryan,
You're welcome.
for that motivational
Point proven. Point proven.
speech.
So
So-
said you.
We still haven't agreed whether or not Iron Man 3 is a Christmas
It doesn't
movie.
matter. You don't have to agree with me. All that matters is I know that it is one, and it means a lot to me.
3, everybody listen carefully. Iron Man 3 is a Christmas movie to Ryan.
Yes.
Yes, and we
That's
can
a-
agree with that.
That's where we'll leave
Yeah.
that.
And that's where we're. And
And
that's where we
it'll
will
always
agree.
be a very important movie to me. I
Right.
should actually clip that part of the ceremony video and actually play it, so people and our friends can actually see. Like, and I'm not trying to use this to drive a point home or anything. It's just I want people to know how much that phrase means to me, because it'll be there for the rest of my life.
Mhm.
It's the
Forever and
it's literally the
ever.
words that I uttered when I
And
married my
ever.
wife.
Mhm.
And it also helped me to calm down and stop my uncontrollable bawling. I'll be honest. No, the fact that my friend went as far as like tailoring everything about the ceremony out to make it less traditional, I think is a good way to say it. Because I was a wreck, dude. As soon as I saw Michi walking down the aisle, I started bawling. She was crying. I'm like tearing up just thinking about it now. But when he told me to repeat after me, it psyched me out of the situation and made me realize that this is the best day of my life. And he's making it extra personal for me, and it's memorable, you know?
Yeah.
And I just went off on an extreme tangent. That's not what we're here to talk about, but I should totally do that just to show you guys.
Do it.
I gave in as much as I'm going to give in.
Right.
It's fine.
And after your story with your wedding, that's what made me finally give in to the point that I gave in to. So you will never push me any further than that, sir, because you pulled out the big guns for that one, and that's as good as it gets.
So maybe he wasn't playing Minesweeper. He was actually preparing a ball.
That's part of my thesis, man.
Yes, this is dissertation on why Iron Man 3 is a Christmas movie. So one thing I know, Ryan, you mentioned Disney came out and said Iron Man 3 was a Christmas movie. On the flip side of Die Hard, Bruce Willis, star of Die Hard, came out at some point and said he doesn't believe that Die Hard was a Christmas movie. But we all know.
Wrong. We don't need
I mean, Bruce Willis.
Who is he? Who does he think he
guy.
is?
I mean, he's an action star. He's not like, you know.
He's not Santa
Pythagoras.
Claus.
Yeah, he's not Santa Claus.
He's
That's
not
right.
Santa Claus.
He's not even reindeer.
He's
You
not.
sit on a throne of lies, Bruce Willis.
Awesome.
Oh,
that
one
was
more
good.
thing.
Yes.
Iron Man 3 has quote unquote Ralphie in it.
That is true. That is true. In fact, he
So
didn't
does
direct it. He did something in it, right?
No, okay. If we want to get to that point, the guy that plays, I can't remember the scientist's name in the original Iron Man, that Obadiah Stane tasks to recreate the arc reactor, is actually the kid that played Ralphie. True fact.
Right.
But the
Yep.
reason why I say Ralphie, he and Rhodey are in that bar or restaurant. He's like, "I loved you in A Christmas Story" when he's talking to the kid. There's a
never
lot
caught
of
that.
different random Christmas things in there, but yeah, I just wanted to throw that in there.
Thank you, Ryan.
You're welcome.
Cool.
I always make it weird. That's part of my job here.
Yes.
No. So it was a good discussion. And I think like this is I've got a week and a half off of work, and I think I'm going to have to revisit some of these movies, as I hope you guys are listening to this episode will also join us in doing and sharing your thoughts on what you guys think about these movies and whether or not they are Christmas movies or not. We're always up for discussion and interactions on Twitter and whatnot. So yeah, please do. Please tell us we're wrong. Please tell us we're right.
Or tell us anything we forgot.
Yeah. Other movies that you guys think kind of fall in those gaps with Christmas or not, or just want to tell us we're a bunch of idiots, and we appreciate that interaction as well. Because Joey texts me daily and tells me I'm stupid,
Yep.
just to make me feel something.
You're dumb.
There
Wow.
you go. Anyways, Joey, time's it.
It's game time. Clint didn't do the drum roll.
I didn't. Sorry, it wasn't as hyped as last time. My
Hey,
mistake.
you know what?
I'm out.
For you, this game is named for you. Then it's called "Use a Ho Ho Ho."
Oh, I'm sorry. Was I supposed to be offended or surprised by that?
I don't know. Pleasantly surprised.
Very pleasantly surprised.
All right, so this is going to be a quick fire one. I'm doing something a little bit different this time. See how it works out. It's an experiment. You will be given a Christmas clue. You will buzz in if you think you know the right answer. 10 points if you're right. There's no penalty for getting it wrong.
Oh, perfect. Clint loves these ones.
Yep. You can steal. So if they're wrong, you can still sweep in. I'll go to the second person that buzzed in. The first person to get to 50 points wins.
Ooh,
Okay.
this could be over quick.
Or it could take forever and you're out of options. You're like,
We'll see. Okay, so first question. Here we go. How many ghosts show up in A Christmas Carol? Clint.
4.
4 is correct. Very good. Next question. Where was the baby Jesus born? Clint.
Are you looking for a location like on a map, or
Yes,
just in a
geographic
manger? Okay,
location.
Bethlehem.
Bethlehem is correct. Next
I'm
question.
shaking my head
Right.
Why?
because I'm slow.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's your problem.
The movie Miracle on 34th Street is based on a real life department store. What is it? Clint.
Macy's.
Macy's is correct.
The world's fastest game at this point.
Next. In Home Alone, where are the McAllisters going on vacation when they leave Kevin behind?
Oh,
Clint.
that one I don't
Paris.
remember.
Paris is correct. In the classic Christmas movie How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the Grinch was described with 3 words. What are they?
Yes.
Ryan.
Stink, stank, stunk.
Very good.
Yes,
Ryan's
I
on
got.
the board.
I'm happy. I got on the board,
Ryan's on the board.
He
I got
doesn't have
Ryan
just
points.
Ryan
and I
points.
broke his stride.
You
So I'm
did.
happy because
You
he
got
got
the
4 in a
momentum.
row.
Yes.
I did know the answer though. I will say that.
Next. In which modern day country was St. Nicholas born in? Clint.
Turkey.
Turkey is correct. And Clint is our super fast winner.
Oh,
So
what
this
the
just
hell?
proves to me that we cannot do this again if Clint is here.
Well, let's play it some more.
Oh, do you really
Clint
want
just wants to answer questions.
Well, no.
before
Just because you
it's
worked on it, let's.
Yeah,
play
yeah.
before
Let's
you.
keep going. We know Clint won.
It's
Yeah.
No, keep doing it. We got. Do you have time, Ryan? Do you have time to?
Yeah.
to...
I want Nate to get
You
at
put-
least 10 points.
You put the work
All
into it. We want you to, yeah.
It really wasn't that much work, but thank you anyway. All right. What words follow Silent Night in the song? Clint.
Holy night.
Holy Night. I think Clint just wanted to embarrass y'all more.
Yeah, he just does.
Oh,
Like,
I
he's
yeah.
just-
didn't. I just wanted to play.
Holy shit!
Holy shit. Holy night.
Tom Hanks
Holy shit.
plays how many different roles in the Polar Express?
Oh hell, if I know, I don't know this.
I don't know.
Hey,
Clint.
Clint finally
I
doesn't
don't
know
know
one.
it. I don't know it.
Just guessing. Minus,
If you
minus
answer
80
wrong,
points.
you lose all your points.
Yeah.
What if I just don't answer then?
You already buzzed in. You're gonna have to say
Alright,
You're
something.
the best.
I'm gonna say 4.
No, it was
Okay.
actually 6.
6.
Sick.
I could think of 2, but all right.
What is Scrooge's first name? Clint.
Ebenezer.
Ebenezer
Yeah, I
is
knew that one
correct.
too.
What did Frosty the Snowman do when a magic hat was placed on his head? Clint.
Came to life. By the way, guys, I have to tell you
Oh,
this.
no, but you need to be more specific or you're going to lose this game.
Wait, if you want to say that came to life one day when he put an old silk hat with the old silk hat they found, and then we placed it on his head, he began to dance around. Sorry.
There we
Okay.
go.
But anyway, real quick, I don't know if you guys haven't seen Geek Together last week in Robbie's or like yesterday in Robbie's sack, he showed a piece that's in Mighty Jackson. It's a Frosty, and his nose is falling off, and it is full. He's sitting down and fell down right where his jingle bells are hanging out, and it's a very funny piece. I recommend you guys all check it out.
His jingle bells, eh?
Yes, and they really are 2 snowballs with a carrot on top. But anyway,
Oh, that's like in Dumb and Dumber.
Okay, how many more y'all want to do?
how many more you got?
A bunch. That's what I said.
It's up to them. Up to you guys above.
I just want to see Clint get something wrong.
Okay.
He has got something wrong.
I got the Polar Express one wrong.
What
And
is
almost Frosty.
Ralphie's little brother's name in A
Oh.
Christmas Story?
I don't know this one.
Randy.
Yeah.
Randy is correct. Which one of Santa's reindeer has the same name as another holiday mascot? Clint.
Vixen.
No.
Ooh.
God damn it.
Cupid is the correct answer.
Oh.
Man.
I got the question there. I didn't understand it.
Yeah.
Womp womp.
What's your? You know what? That's a good note to end on. Let's end on Clint getting an answer wrong.
That was fun. I actually liked that. And what part of the
Yeah,
reason
I wonder why you got like.
All right.
Well, because he has a
1,000
kid.
points.
I think
Well-
that helps.
That probably doesn't hurt. I will.
Yeah.
Well, not with Christmas Story or Miracle on 34th Street or anyway. My point is, last time we played a holiday themed game, Kelly was on, and
Mhm.
you all kicked my ass. Like I ended up with negative, thousands of points. So
You mean negative 8 points?
I lower than that. Like it was negative
Oh,
8
wow.
points times like 3. So
Whoa.
yeah, like
That's a lot of negative.
Do the
That's
math
a
there,
lot
Nate.
of stupidity.
Anyway,
Negative times 3 is still much less than 0.
Yes.
I did it, guys.
Nate does Matt.
I did it, guys. I
did
did the
it.
math.
You're the real winner, Nate.
And Jarvis Landry just scored a touchdown, so I am absolutely a real winner.
Nate, that warms my heart.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you, Joey. Sorry that your game resulted in Clint winning, but thank you for doing the game. I know you hate it when Clint wins because he does it so often, but it was a fun game and very
sorry though.
Yeah, are you sorry, eh?
You said you were sorry, not me.
No, I'm sorry. But yes, thank you, Joey. We appreciate that. Thank you everyone for joining us this week for this at times heated discussion about whether a Christmas movie is actually a Christmas movie based on a revolving door of criteria that we kind of made up on the spot. But that's kind of what we do and we enjoy it. What's that?
I said that's what we're best at, just making stuff up.
It works. Yeah.
It works, and we have a great time doing it each week, and we do appreciate you guys tuning in, listening, hanging out, interacting, all that. So we do truly appreciate you guys. Couple of last second things before we wrap it up for today. Make sure you're following us on Twitter and Instagram at _Dorksman. Make sure you're playing Dorksman Bingo at dorksmanbingo.com. And that's always fun. Please share your bingo cards. We are 5 days from Christmas. Please be safe this year, whatever you're doing. It's going to be different for everybody, but just be safe. Enjoy your time. Yes. Things happening this week. Like we said, our schedules are a little bit up in the air. I know Ryan will be streaming tomorrow night. That's Monday night. He'll be playing some Call of Duty probably, or doing some,
Call of Duty and getting upset as I die. So if you guys if you guys think Joey yelling "No" is funny, you guys should go see some of the clips of the dumb shit that I've done.
There you go.
Yeah,
and you got Ryan to swear, so congratulations.
Yay!
Yeah,
we're all winners.
We're all winners. So that's at twitch.tv/Agent Tony Stark. So make sure you give him a follow, give him some love. He'll be on tomorrow night. Tuesday, we've got Clint doing some Mario Kart. So Mario. It's a me, Mario. Whatever.
It's a me, Mario.
Luigi's brother kart. So
Luigi's brother.
So add Clint on Twitter, Collector Clint, if you want to get his friend code and beat him in some races on Tuesday night. That's always fun. Usually plays with Sully, so if you ever want to interact with both of them, they'll be streaming on Tuesday. What else do we got? Possibly a Dorksman game night on Friday. It is Christmas, so it will all depend on how things go with each of us. I think if Clint will be on, I'll try to be on a little bit later in the evening on Friday as well, but no promises that we'll be doing it. But if we do, we'll be sure to let you know on Twitter.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, show.
And then, of course, next Sunday for the pre-party at 3:30 Pacific, we'll be back.
Yes, we will be back.
Because
that's the in-between.
Mandalorian Season 2 review. And hot takes.
Spoilers.
Oh, lots of spoilers.
Lots of spoilers. So please catch up on Mandalorian before the following week's episode. Because we would hate you to be spoiled by us, because that would be not nice. But yeah, that's a discussion for next week, and I'll save it for the podcast for next week.
Yeah, they've been forewarned.
Yeah, they've been forewarned. Yeah, anything else you guys want to say before we wrap it up for the night? Everyone's
I don't think so.
Shaking their heads.
Happy holidays. I mentioned this on the pre-party, but in all seriousness, guys, we've all been very separated over the course of the last 9-ish months. If you do have any friends that are single, that do live alone, maybe don't have a lot of social interaction with friends or family, I would highly recommend that you check in on them and just see how they're doing right now. You know, Christmas and the holidays are a very social time for many of us, and because the season is not the same as we would normally expect it to be, I would just highly recommend you check on them, see how they're doing. Mental health is a very important thing. A lot of people are struggling these days with being separated. So, real talk, please check on your friends and your family. Let them know that you care.
Well put, Ryan. It's a nice and simple thing. Just check in, just say hi, see how everyone's doing.
Yep.
It goes a long way for sure.
Yep.
Even if it's Joey messaging me at like 7 a.m. and being like, "Hey, you're a dummy. It's nice."
Hey,
to
dummy,
meet
how are
again."
you? Are you any
Exactly.
stupider today? Not possible. Ha ha ha.
Oh,
Yeah.
ouch.
LOL.
Ooh,
I
sick
feel the
burn.
love from here.
Sick burn.
Yes.
Anyways,
Can you feel the love tonight?
All right, let's wrap this up.
thank you again, everyone, for listening and following along. We do appreciate you. This has been a crazy year, but we do appreciate all the support. New episode will be live tomorrow morning. So with that,
When you hear this,
when you hear this, this episode will be live because you would have known that it was live because you just heard it. And with that, that's my secret. I hate the other 3 people on this podcast.
Thor: The Dark World is an Arbor Day movie.
we're homies.
Iron Man 3 is a Christmas movie.
Not!